Hey, we were talking about, I guess you and Kier, Chase's dad, the last few weeks, not this week. This all went for you really well. He rode great, 7th to 2nd, and then AP crash and all that. But like we were talking, like, what do you say to him the last month and a half outside of like, dude, you're super fast. We'll get him next week. Let's keep working. We'll get him next week. I mean, that's kind of all you have to say, right? Or can you let us in on some of the conversations when you have a guy like Chase Sexton not winning?
No, yeah, I think you're right. I mean, it's hard to tell someone that has everything there what we need to change. I mean, obviously, some of it at the end, we owned some of it that we think that we could have done better on the bike to get him. Like the crash in Oakland, maybe we could have had a little bit better front feel or stability or something, whatever. And so we worked on that kind of stuff. And those are we never stop working on the bike. But then, you got to know when to not start putting things on there anymore and just riding. And I think Chase, this off season, we got to a point and then he rode and got really used to the bike. And we, from last year, we changed a lot. And I think personally, I didn't want to change too many things because I think he becomes kind of a creature of habit, or really understands the bike. Like we always talk about that too. Right. But, but yeah, I think he knew kind of up to himself what some of the things that were going on in the last few races. And I'm not going to lie to you. I don't go to Chase and go, look, man, this is what you need to do. Like I'm not that kind of manager where I'm like getting super involved with telling them like, listen, man, this is what you're doing wrong. Unless I really feel, like there's something that I can contribute. In this situation, Chase has the speed. He has, we've got the bike to a spot where he is able to win. And those issues that he's had at the end of the races, I mean, I think that he just needs to be able to ride the main event like he rides practice and like he rides the heat race. And, at this point, I think this weekend he did. And that's why I was super, super stoked on him this weekend. Even after the heat race, I was really, really pumped on the way he rode and and his racecraft, really. I mean, he was stuck behind Ken there, and then he was able to change the line, and he goes through jumps so much better than a lot of guys. He keeps his forward momentum and stays low in the rhythm sections, especially, and that's how he made that pass, and then a bunch of the passes in the main. So I think he really this weekend helped him get some confidence and some mental strength and going forward. And it just obviously with the penalty, it takes. Even though the night was awesome for us, it was still so bittersweet because we went in, won the race, we need to get points, and we lose points in the championship. And not just a few points, we lose 7. So go from 10 points to 17, almost double. Yeah. And that was one of the things that was frustrating about, and I wanted to kind of touch on was the penalty itself, just being. I guess the thing that after talking about and thinking about it with the other guys on the team and with Kier too and Chase is that the penalty it's you lose 2 positions of points plus 2 extra points
plus 2 points for penalty
yeah, so if you win you lose 3 points for the going to second and then 2 points going to third, so you lose 5 points right away, then you lose 2 more, so that's 7. If you were to get, 4th place or 22nd place or, whatever. After 4th place, you're only going to lose a total of 4 ever.
Yes.
So the whole goal of the red cross flag and light is for safety. So you don't land on somebody who's down, whatever, which is great. But shouldn't be a position sensitive thing. That should be across the board. So I'm hoping to try to change that for the future where it's a set
4 point, 5 point, whatever.
Or if you're first.
I agree with that. Unless you jump over a guy's head who's singling it, and then now you gained the position. Now you should lose that, and then you can't gain the spot. You can't gain the spot, and then lose only the points, but you still get third, right? You know what I'm saying? So you need to if you gain a spot from jumping on a red cross, then you should lose that spot you gained and then some points. But if you don't gain a spot or anything, then like you said, just make it standard. Why should the position of the rider make the penalty worse? You know,
Right.
it shouldn't. It shouldn't matter that you're leading or you're 10th. We want to stop guys from jumping on red crosses.
Yeah, exactly.
right.
And I mean, there's a whole nother issue with throwing a red cross light on for something that maybe doesn't need to be. Like,
yeah.
obviously the triple, when you're dealing with a triple, the biggest concern is something like what happened to Trey Kennard in 2012, or, you know, not that would have worked in that situation, but just getting landed on a triple is probably the biggest,
yeah.
you know, incident you could have or accident you could have on a Supercross race. So, but when somebody's before the triple, does the light need to be on? You know, there's a few things like that. I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy for the AMA either, or the you know, any of the flaggers to know. So
no, and there's plenty of flagging errors every weekend. You know, so that's tough to know, and it's a human judgment, and you know, all of that. But I know what you're saying. Yeah, like Chase lost 7, and if Shane McElrath jumps it with Chiz and he's 14th, he's gonna lose 5. You know, so
how long did it take them to announce
4.
This 7-point penalty? How long did it take them to announce that?
It was pretty soon.
30 seconds, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty.
So was it kind of from the hip? You know?
No. It's in the rule book. It's in the AMA rule book now. They used to go. Lars, you've been around long enough to remember when it was like seconds, and then it was positions. It was like kind of vague.
Well, right, but like
know?
My thing is like the light shouldn't have been on the double face. Why was that on?
Right.
You know?
But okay, I'll agree with you on that, Alex. But then everybody behind Chase also saw it and rolled. So, you know, like it was easy enough where they all did it. They all rolled. So there should be a penalty for Chase. Lars is not saying that. But like I remember when RV jumped him in St. Louis, and it was like he won by 7 seconds, and they're like, "We're giving you a 5-second penalty." You know, like
in a way, I don't think that's a bad thing, because I mean, here's another theory. Say you go out there and like what did Jet win that one race by like 17 seconds or something? What was, I can't remember what he won by. He won by a lot. If they went back and said, "Hey, you jumped on a red cross, so we're going to take 2 positions away from you plus 2 points," but he won by like 17 seconds.
Right.
Like, to me, that just seems ridiculous. The guy was crushing everybody.
Right.
Like, why should he give up all that? You know. So anyway. Not saying that the second thing would work either, but in that kind of situation, I just feel like it needs to be a little bit different. But yeah, like you said, I'm not arguing that Chase didn't jump on the red or whatever. It was a lot of times, like outdoors, we had one incident at Colorado. It was really hard to see the jump with the lights, especially because in the daytime they were angled kind of weird. Supercross a little different, so he definitely needed to. He must have seen him and still jump, but so that's not the argument at all. But still, the amount of points taken away seems to be kind of dramatic. I mean, enough for us to really put us in a huge deficit now when we were clawing our way back.
I got something for you, Lars.
Catering.
No.
I was going to say catering.